This is Shop Culture. I'm Courtney Cason, and this is a podcast dedicated to the exploration of the obsession and celebration of all things shopping. Hey guys, hope you're having a great week. It's about to get a lot better. We're going to spend the next few moments with legendary couture and ready-to-wear designer Isaac Mizrahi. Be prepared to be amazed because he's spilling it all. Isaac, what's up?
Hi, Courtney Cason.
It's good to see you.
I love being here with you.
Well, you are on the Shop Culture podcast. We're thrilled to have you. We've been trying to recruit you for a while, and I got to tell you, your date book is pretty filled up.
I know, Courtney. It's crazy. I mean, I apologize.
Sure.
Yeah.
We happily accept your apology. We start
sorry.
the podcast with a first question for everybody.
Okay.
So you're getting do you carry a wallet?
I have a wallet.
You
I
have
don't
a
exactly
wallet.
carry it. I carry it in my giant bag.
Okay, so you have a man bag, a man satchel,
I have a big man bag.
if
Yes,
you will.
I do. Uh-huh.
All right, so you're getting out your ATM card or you're getting out cash. What was your last purchase?
With cash?
Or anything.
Oh.
I mean, it could be a stick of gum.
Well, my last purchase, you mean recently or what
Today.
I think about? Oh, today. What was my last purchase? I think, you know what I bought? I bought a half lemonade, half iced tea.
Arnold Palmer.
An Arnold Palmer from, it's this company called Honest Tea.
Yes.
And they sell them at the QVC sort of kiosk thing where you're like, you hold it up and scan it and then you put your credit card in. Yeah.
So that's like a really uplifting daytime choice.
Well, I mean, it's pretty sad that my last purchase was something so mundane and not something fabulous like Lori Goldstein, who probably just bought a pair of Chanel, platform boots or something.
Close. It was a Marnie dress.
Right. I knew it. You
knew that it would
yes.
be. All right. Well, let's talk about then a substantial purchase.
Okay.
For you. And I won't put a time date on it.
Okay. The last kind of substantial thing I bought was this really beautiful drawing that was very substantial.
What does it look like? What's the story?
It's actually, it looks like a color frequency is what it looks like. And it's by this really great artist called Jim Hodges, who's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I bought it through these friends of his who used to deal with his work and had like this one picture, and I just loved it, and they sold it to me. So that's what I bought.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Do you do you have a lot of art that you've purchased over the years?
I do. I do. And what's funny about it is the things I think about more are the things I didn't buy that I should have bought that I didn't buy that it would be so valuable today. Like Jean-Michel Basquiat pictures that I should have bought for $3,000 in 1981 when I was at the Fun Gallery at an opening. Seriously.
Yeah.
Or Cindy Sherman photographs that are worth so much money today that I literally could have bought for nothing before Cindy Sherman was, who she is now.
And so all of these pieces that you do have or have regretted at one time, were these going in your home?
Well, those pieces that I didn't buy they went into obscurity, sadly. They went into museums. Exactly. No, but I have like sort of kept up with this crazy collection. And it is pretty crazy. It's like stuff I love, you know. It's and mostly they're artists who like I've been collecting since they're really young, and some of them have come along in a great big way, and some of them are just kind of finding their footing and stuff. But like I should have bought a John Curran in 1992, and I could have the chance, But I didn't.
If I'd known
regret.
then,
exactly
what I knew now.
Exactly.
So it seems to me that you like art. Like it's definitely a considered purchase for you. I mean, here's the thing: like you are an incredible talent, and I feel like you can spot incredible talent, which is also great. When it comes to something like art, how do you know that you made the right decision? Like, how do you know when you hand over your credit card that like this feels good, this feels right?
Right. I have to say it's always something that is compelling that I can't not buy. I am not sort of Steve Cohen who just buys art because he's a collector. He's an exquisite collector. He has an amazing collection. And, he has Picassos and Jeff Koons. I mean, the Gerhard Richters, everything you want to imagine, Yeah. And that's because he's a major collector. First of all, he can afford to do that, right? I don't do that. I frequent these galleries and I look at things. I also just bought these tiny little sculptures from this woman who just drives me crazy. She's so crazy and so funny. Her name is Mary Carlson, and like she does these figures that are sort of like these crazy little, like, I think they're painted fired clay.
Okay.
But they look like little, like, children's drawings of versions of, like, things taken from antiquity, from, like, Giotto's and, like, Michelangelo's. They're hilarious. And they're beautiful, and I love them, and I can't stop buying them. I have, like, 5 of them now.
So you have more than 5, but we're not in double digits. Are you flirting with knick-knack territory?
No, I mean, this is like, I'm talking about art. Like she's having a show. I'm lending it. I'm lending the thing to a show that's coming up. Seriously, like.
Oh no, I know that it's art, but now you're you're creating a scene. Like I think about like some great knickknacks that have like created a scene. Like yours is obviously the way your fashion would be, couture, top of the line, in artistry.
But wait a minute. Now here's the thing. I have one of them in my living room, my favorite one.
Yeah.
And it's on this plinth. It's on the best plinth. It's like plywood plinth that I was like, I won't buy the sculpture unless I get the plinth, because the plinth was my favorite part.
That's the everything. Sure.
Yeah. So it's and then the other ones are kind of scattered. I have these 2 new ones that are sort of sitting in my actual bathroom. You know, my beautiful bathroom in my apartment, and they're kind of sitting in these little, like, I don't know what you'd call them, like relief. They're like these sort of lights, and it's this little thing, and they just sit there. It's Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. These 2 like figures. They're amazing. I'm telling you, they're so hilarious. Yeah, I love
that. Okay, so you've got some really good purchases.
I did. And the thing is, like, I don't think many people know who Mary Carlson is yet or something, but I love her work so much, and I'm so amused by it, and I can't resist it.
Can you do me a favor? Sure. Can you take a picture of them on Instagram and tag me so we know where this conversation
You're so
happens?
Smart. Of course, I never Instagram anything enough.
You were on Instagram. I feel like you go in spurts of Instagram where it's like, and then you'll see like,
well, I know,
I am Isaac, and then you're like, is it though? Is it really him?
Yes, that's me.
And then you'll write me a note, and then I'm like, that's him.
Like, that's me. Yeah, that's the one which I keep.
Got ya.
And I am Isaac Mizrahi. And I don't do enough. I don't do enough.
Well, but you've got a lot on your plate, so I think that's okay.
I do it because, again, it's like, it's compelling for a minute. And then I don't, because like people like my husband.
Yeah.
Like, Arnold, exactly.
Yes.
He loves Instagram. He lives, like, you can
so you've
always
been
tell
tagged multiple times from an Arnold post.
And also he does stories, and he does, like, he really, like, likes it a lot.
Yeah.
He's also 10 years younger than me, so I guess he is part of, like, it's part of a generational thing or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do it because I'm amused for about 5 minutes, and then I'm bored with it. I get a little bored with it, I have to tell you.
How long have you guys been married now?
We've been married since 2011. So
but you've been together.
We've been together
forever.
Right? Well, we met in 2000, and then we were apart for about 5 years, and so we got back together in 2005. So
circled back, love it.
That is a long 2005, darling. That's like
13 years.
13 years.
Lucky number 13.
That's right.
P.S. And by the way, you told me something that I was shocked to hear one time.
Oh,
you told me that you didn't like to go shopping.
I know, what's that about?
Yeah.
I don't like to, I should say I don't love to go shopping in New York City.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so fun for me to like sort of go to like one store that I like in Los Angeles or something.
What's your favorite store?
Oh, I forgot the name of it, but it's my favorite store, and like one of my favorite stores in the world, and it makes this incredible pottery. And I want to call it something Potter. It's like a place I go like every time I'm in LA. Wow. And they have this unbelievable pottery. And I'm actually overdue for like a trip there.
Sure.
I got some of my favorite stuff that ever I got there. It's called something Potters. Something. I forgot the name of it.
But you know the address. But you know how to drive there, get there.
Oh, listen, I don't know how to drive anywhere in Los Angeles.
I don't think anyone does.
I always take a driver in a car. But here's the thing. Like, I love doing that. Like, that's not shopping. Also, like, I used to like somehow.
What is shopping to you?
Well, here's the thing, Courtney. Like, I don't really fit into clothes. I am such a plus size at the moment. Like, if I go into Bottega Veneta, which I love, I do not fit in their largest size. And I take that a little bit personally. I hate that.
Can I say something?
Yeah, say anything.
A man of your stature, and I mean by career, not by waistline.
Yes.
Why can't you walk into Bottega Veneta and be like, hey, I am Isaac Mizrahi.
No, excuse me,
bleep.
Darling. I know Mr. Meyer. I know him. I know the guy who does it.
Letter to customer service?
You know what? Once he made this. He knew I wanted a box. They have these beautiful jewelry boxes, and he knew I wanted it made in crocodile, and he said, "Oh, if you want it made in crocodile, no problem." And I did it. I made the thing in black crocodile.
But you want to go
I'm
in
sure
and
if I called
discover
him,
a leather jacket and be like, "Oh, this is made for me."
Exactly. Like I used to do when it was fun, when I was like, a size 32 waist. It was lovely, And
what are we flirting with now, so I can get an idea?
Oh, absolutely not. So not happening. Not happening. You know what? I had a fitting finally for a suit because I've come down a little bit. In case you noticed, I come down.
So you're working on this.
I'm working on it. I'm Weight Watchering.
You're on Weight Watchers?
Oh, totally. Wait, but
are you on the app or do you have a coach?
No, I don't have either. I used to have a coach.
Okay.
And they took her away from me. How about that? They took her away from me and they gave her to someone. And I was like, wait, you took her away from me and gave her to, I forgot who it was. It might dawn on me who they gave her to because it was like.
We may know them.
Really? No, you do know them. It's like a famous person. I was like, what? Thanks, people. But anyway, so I finally decided it's time to like maybe get some suits because I really, and I've been getting things made here and there, like, pieces here and there, but tailored suits, And so I had a fitting with this fantastic guy, David August, in Los Angeles. He makes really beautiful suits. And he came in at the fitting and I was like, David, if anyone sees these measurements, like I don't want to know them.
Right.
And if anyone sees, and then he takes these mug shots of you like standing to the side, facing back, and they're the worst pictures. I'm like, David, if anyone, and he knows.
Yes.
Honey, David knows if anyone sees those pictures,
in the vault.
I am suing him, okay? Yeah.
Well, here's what I will tell you.
What?
As an observer.
Tell me.
You are not America's next top plus size model. You still have a good girlish figure, so that I would like to compliment you on.
You're very nice about that. But when you walk into like, Prada and they don't have your size, it's very off-putting. It makes you go like, oh, okay, I am huge. I'll just eat everything inside and I'll just get worse because, right? It's not. And by the way, we all can't be Leah Williams, by the way. Have you noticed Leah? She is literally, she is like a silk. Living her best life. Living her best life.
Like between her hair, she's getting taller.
The hair,
she's getting thinner.
The nails, the shoes. I mean, she's everything
is on point.
I love her. Yeah.
Everything is on point.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about this for a second, though. Like, this experience of feeling like right now, you don't want to go shopping because you're nervous something isn't going to fit.
Right.
So, then is the answer to have everything delivered to your house so that you can do it in private? Or do you feel like...
Well, wait a minute now, because I have certain things that I wear, like that little black prayer jacket that I've been wearing for the past, and that still fits, by the way, okay?
Yes.
Like, I'm not a plus size. That still fits. Hello. I've been wearing that since, I'll show you pictures of me in my 20s when I made that thing up.
Okay, so I remember you made that, but that was from when you were in your 20s. I had no idea.
It's based on this French Foreign Legion jacket that someone gave me.
Yeah.
That I fell madly in love with, and I just made hundreds of them, and I still have hundreds of them.
So you have the backups to the backups.
Oh, I have. Are you kidding me? And I have like a small room where people sew little things occasionally, and this guy called Victor who makes some stuff for me. T-shirts, because I'm crazy, because I can't buy a T-shirt. I can't buy a T-shirt. I have these pants that he makes me in different lengths and different widths of leg, and I know it doesn't look like it's different, but I have like jammed, but I do want some tailored suits. I would like something that isn't black and plain. I would like something that's jazzy and black.
Bedazzle me, if you will.
Bedazzle.
Do you have any color in your wardrobe currently besides black?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, what's your favorite color besides black?
Here's the thing, Courtney. Like, if you could see the sickness of my closet, like, if you could see the stacks of cashmere sweaters that I have in different colors, like, mad colors, they don't fit anymore. They don't fit anymore. They're too tight. And like, by the way, Arnold Germer, who is a perfect size and who would wear these things, if you, I keep saying, please, because it's so stupid. They're perfectly beautiful, like literally gorgeous cashmere things.
Yeah.
And beautiful sweaters from like Comme des Garçons and like stuff that's crazy. And shoes, by the way, shoes. I have
Ray Kawakaba.
Yeah.
If that's how you say it.
Kawakubo.
Kawakubo.
Yeah.
Spirit
God.
animal.
Also God.
Also God.
God. Yeah, exactly.
I love everything that she does.
Who doesn't? But also I have like shoes that are made from John Lobb that are like just so precious and beautiful. And I went for fittings and they were so much. If I told you how much a pair of shoes costs, I mean, you would scream. My husband says you're going to be buried in those shoes, like. And
are you like, hell yeah, I am.
Yeah, but literally they're so uncomfortable. Even though they've been made for me, they're like super uncomfortable. They're very tailored and very hard, and they're not broken in. And
not into it right now. So we're not into shopping right now because we're in the interim. We're getting to our fighting weight, which, by the way, so that America knows, I'm sitting here looking at your eyes, and they are flawless. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm checking you out. I'm a looking. I'm a liking.
I'm sweating. I'm so like this is like doing Terry Gross or something. This is like NPR or something. Yeah,
even better.
I know, exactly.
Love NPR.
Exactly.
So one could ask. So if we're not into shopping right now, and you're talking about a very specific look with some tailored suits and that jacket that I've always seen you in, that I had no idea that was like just had been worn so many ways.
Yeah.
Why aren't you just making your own clothes?
I am. I'm telling you. I swear I am. But it's such a bore. It's like, that one prayer jacket, and I have this hoodie thing that I make constantly in different fabrics, and I have these 3 or 4 different pairs of pants and a T-shirt and a polo shirt, whatever.
So making your own clothes doesn't excite you.
It doesn't, because
but
it's
it does
the same
for other
jacket.
people.
No, but it's for me personally, it's the same clothes. It's not like I'm going to sit and do sketches of me in like, fishtail ball gowns, sadly. But
why not?
I don't know.
Let's figure out an occasion to take that.
Well, I think that as I get more and more into performing, like, I don't mean to say that I'm going to become like Liberace or something, or Elton John.
Sure.
But I might become like a sort of a version, like my own kind of elegant version of that.
Yes.
I might. I'm not kidding. I have this idea that maybe for my show at the Carlisle this winter in February, I might just appear in something that's been, let's say, bedazzled slightly,
Can we play the Elton John card for a moment?
Go ahead.
He seems like a man that may visit places, curate things with beautiful pieces, vintage, whatnot, and collect them and make something out of that. Will you be up to the challenge for a shop like that to go like full on Elton? Now, I don't know he has a lot of things made, but some of his accessories, were a special find, or that he's had for forever. So how will you supplement that? Should you go that route in February?
I mean, I'm going to start very, very slowly.
Okay.
I have this one idea for like this kind of crazy jacket that I want to make for the show, but that's where I'm starting with David right now. He's making me this plain black suit.
Yeah.
And then I think the next suit we're going to do this kind of like crazy embroidered thing all over this jacket, which will be really hilarious and great if there's the time.
You'll make the time.
I will make the time.
I can tell.
So that's the first step. And then after that, who knows? It might unleash some kooky thing, I will say one thing. If my feet are not okay, like if my feet are in the wrong shoes, it doesn't work.
Do you like an orthotic in your shoe?
Well, yes, I do. I'm not wearing my orthotic today for the first time ever, but when I wear Belgian loafers, for instance, I don't wear orthotics. When I wear these John Loeb shoes, I don't wear orthotics because they don't fit in the shoe.
What's the deal with a Belgian loafer?
Well, the Belgian loafer is my go-to. If I have to wear something that isn't my orthotic in my sneaker or something, I will usually go to a Belgian. And I think I have hundreds of them.
And just to be clear,
is
it called the Belgian loafer?
Yeah,
is the origin from Belgium?
Yes, absolutely,
yes.
You should look those up because I think you might want 1 or 2 pairs, even though
just
they're very not your they're not your image.
Sure.
They're not your image. They're flat for one thing, which I know for you doesn't work. It doesn't work. Or automatically doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been around you in a flat before.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a flat. Okay, even in a sling and a heel. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so here's what I'm gathering with like your shopping habits. You are trusting this David guy to shop along with you to create these ideas of incredible new fashion.
Well,
for
there's no
Isaac's
shopping,
wardrobe.
darling. No shopping at all involved.
But I say
it's
shopping
fittings.
in that a conversation. Like I'm saying, the fitting is shopping along with him because you have to be telling him.
I mean, I have
what you want.
Well, I have this hilarious joke about like me styling for myself. It takes hours, and you end up in a black suit with a white shirt because hours. I'm not kidding. And you try on every black suit. Oh, am I allowed to say that on QVC?
No, we have a bleep. We have a bleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, and this is it. Yeah, this is not QVC. This is you and me.
Right, exactly. Well, you try on every darn black suit and white shirt and combinations of things. And I remember like finally coming to terms with the look I was going to use at the Carlisle last year, and then Instagramming a picture like, hey, everybody, this is the look, right? And going, it's a black suit and a white shirt this time. Like instead of a black suit, it's a black shirt, you know? I mean, it's a little goofy.
Subtle change.
Yeah.
But what it took to get there, therapeutic, no doubt.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding
I mean,
me?
I'm sure there's tons of stuff that was worked out there.
Yeah.
This brings up an interesting change of conversation, but let's go back to your childhood, Isaac.
Oh dear, must we?
Yes. Okay, so you're close with your mom.
Yes, we are. We're very close.
So do you remember growing up and ever going shopping with her? Like,
oh God, it was so dreadful, Courtney. I mean,
what?
Because the thing about my mother is that, you know, she is like crazed about like overweight people. Like she was never overweight, right?
Right.
But my dad was, and it drove her insane. And like, it drove her insane that I was overweight. I was really, really big as a kid. I mean, I lost 75 pounds when I was 14 or between 14 and 15. But
would you call
that,
it a growth spurt loss? At least?
I would call it like seriously putting my pedal to the metal and going on a diet. And I was on this diet for months and I lost all this weight and I transformed. And I never saw myself as a thin person after that. Like once you look in the mirror when you're a kid and you see a fat person, you never see anything else, which is kind of sad, but it's also kind of great because it makes you like kind of become, what's the word? Like the not the object. Like I'm not the object. I can stand on the sidelines and go like, oh no, darling, check this out. And I'm just in black here. Don't look at me. You know what I mean? Like look at this, right?
Yeah.
And I'm good at that. But the point is that shopping with her was a nightmare because she thought she was helping. Like this is a woman who would like say, no, darling, you know, don't do that. It looks really bad. You look bad in platform shoes. You know, clunky shoes on clunky people doesn't add up to
what it needs to.
Clunkier, exactly. And big prints don't work on big people. You know, like stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I always thought it was okay because it was coming from a place where she actually thought she was helping. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when was your first experience when you went shopping? And maybe it's just you.
This is very real, by the way.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Okay, go on. What was the first experience?
Where you're shopping and you try on all this crazy stuff and you're like, this is working. Like, when did you discover?
Oh, well, I will tell you this one thing. Like, when I discovered Savile Row, I was in my late 20s or my early 30s, right? And you know, I know everything about tailor. I know everything about it because I sewed and I know how to tailor. I mean, like, I know how to knit.
Yes.
You can't tell this person how to make clothes, okay?
Yeah.
But when I went to Savile Row and they made me my first black suit, I swear to God, it was like, what the hell? Where have I been? You know?
Right.
And it was so exciting. And then I have to say, like, and it was this one tailor that I don't even know if it exists anymore, Anderson Shepherd, and he makes one particular type of suit. And if you say, oh, could you bring the shoulder? And they go, no, sir. No. Yeah. And could you make the pants? No. This is the way we do it, you know? And no kidding. It's like serious business. And so, like, when it's not about that suit, you have to go to another tailor. You know, sometimes it's about that suit. It's a relaxed kind of suit. Anyway, the first time Anderson Shepherd made me this suit, it was exquisite. And then they made me a navy suit and a gray suit. And then a pinstripe suit and a cashmere suit and a navy jacket and a beige suit. And I ordered like, and by the way, they are thousands of dollars, right? And of course I'm going, oh, I don't know, you know, it's pounds. It sounds so much less than pounds, you know? But the point is that like after that first black suit, there was nothing quite as genius. There was nothing quite as good. Wait. And then one night I remember like I was at my goal weight.
Yes.
Which was a little too thin. Like I think I had a bit of an eating disorder.
I think first of all, you're the second person that has talked about goal weights. We had Cameron Silver on.
Oh.
He was talking about maybe flirting with a line being too thin. Like, and both of you work in fashion.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's true. I mean, you know, because you're around models. And also I'm around dancers a lot. I mean, it was really bad. Anyway, so I remember the night I was going out with this woman called Carrie Modine. I love Carrie Modine. We used to be very good friends, and we were going out. And I remember I was wearing this black suit and this white shirt from Turnbull Asser that was custom made as well.
Yes.
And these shoes from John Loeb, and the tie was from Charvet or something like that. The socks were from this little shop in Milan. I mean, like really every inch of my body. I had a haircut. My skin was good, but I was so thin. And I remember like, this is what Fred Astaire feels like. This is what truly elegant
dancing
people
on air
feel like. You know?
Yeah.
By the way, black suit, white shirt. Okay, again, you know. But that was one night in my 30s that I remember actually thinking, "Wow, I actually feel very elegant."
This is living.
This is living. Yeah.
This is the new defining moment.
Well, it never came again. It never came again.
Well, okay, so I want to ask you, and you can just give a roundabout number.
All right.
What's the most you've ever spent on something fabulous?
I think it was a pair of shoes from John Loeb that were crocodile, and it was upward of $20,000, this pair of shoes. And it required like 3 or 4 fittings, 1 in London and 2 in New York City.
Do you feel like if you're going to spend an obscene amount of money,
yeah,
does it feel more justifiable when you get the value after tax or when you're shopping with like the Euro exchange?
No, I have to tell you something. I love spending too much money on something. I love it. I feel great about it because I know it's right. You know?
Like you can feel your blood tingling.
Exactly. Like how could a pair of shoes from John Loeb be? Or you know what? I have this agenda that I use every single day. I've been using this agenda from Hermes.
Yes.
Since I'm 24. Okay. Since I work at Calvin Klein, I went.
You worked at Calvin Klein?
Yeah, I worked at Calvin Klein for 3 years. And I went out and bought this Hermes agenda. And since then, since like that would be 1982 or something like that, or 83.
Yes.
Since then, I've been using the same agenda, and they have refills and everything.
Yes.
And in the interim, I only had to change it out twice because it's so beautifully made. The thing doesn't go anywhere, right? And the last time I bought a crocodile one, and it was like $12,000 or something like that. Yeah. And I loved it. I was like so happy to buy that thing. You know, it just felt so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you and Arnold have been married now, going on 2011, so that's
13 years. Well, no. Yeah. Oh, yes. You're so right.
Okay.
Yes.
So 7 years.
7 years. Going on 7 years.
So in every relationship,
right,
one partner probably spends more or goes shopping more. Who is it?
Oh, I spend so much more money than Arnold.
Does Arnold have to just rein you in?
He doesn't care, but he's like, "Are you like you're really going to do that?"
Yeah.
You know, I spend money on flowers. Like when we have dinners,
yes.
Like he cannot believe the flowers that come into that apartment. Or like, I
give
will buy
me an
a
example.
Set of,
like, what's a floral arrangement?
Don't ask.
If we were going to have dinner tomorrow night, like I'm coming over, our bestie Brandon Lewis is coming over with Josh. Like, what flowers are going to be on the table?
I would get my assistant to take vases over to this florist that I love called Miho on the Upper East Side.
Yes.
She's close to the UN, and she just is a genius. And I don't even ask questions. I just say, like, here's the thing, make flowers. And they come back and your eyes fall out of your head because she's such a genius, you know. And then the bill comes and it's like, what? But I don't care, you know.
Right.
And then I send flowers from Miho and I go like, you know, I won't even tell you how much I spend. I just go like, you know,
so you have a revolving account at
And
Miho.
the scary thing is that people go, oh my God, those flowers were unbelievable. You must give me her name. And then I give her the name, and I want to say, but you have to tell her that you're going to spend like $300, $400, $500, or else you'll get like a small, tiny little, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Did she ever flowers flown in?
I don't know. I don't care. I went to visit her once, and she's amazing, and it's exactly what you'd think. It's this tiny little studio in, you know, Sutton Place. It's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
You like to cook a lot.
I do like to cook.
You are a good cook.
Yes, I am. A very good cook. Yeah.
What's grocery store shopping like for you? Do you have recipes laid out and you're like, I'm going to make this? Or do you go into like a Whole Foods and feel fully inspired?
Well, I have to say, like, when I entertain more than 4 people, it's catered. Because you know what? You have to be a caterer to know how to cook good for more than 4 people.
Sure.
When I cook for like people, it's so rare that I cook for anyone besides Arnold. But when I do that, it really depends. My favorite thing is to shop at my farm stand in Bridgehampton. Yeah. That is unbeatable because the produce, it all revolves around the produce for me, and usually a fish or something or some kind of like incredible poultry that you get from some really, really good place, right? But usually if I'm entertaining like people in my apartment, I get it catered because it's too much. I can't handle. Darling, I can't do it.
So you are a man of convenience, full on and full out.
Absolutely, honey. Absolutely. And the thing is I take food very, very seriously. And when I do Thanksgiving and I do cook Thanksgiving in my apartment, which is rare, I'm not kidding. Don't hate. Okay.
I will not
Besides
hate.
wait staff, because you need wait staff. If there's any way that you're going to enjoy the night, you've got to get like wait staff, and by that I say at least 3 people. Okay. but besides that, if I'm going to do the cooking, I have to have like a sous chef and a prep chef with me. Absolutely. I am not doing
Arnold
it by
is
myself.
nowhere to be found.
No. It's better not because
you don't want to get in a fight.
I'm so bossy and horrible in the kitchen and
right.
I don't want to get in a fight.
So you're full on alpha in the kitchen.
I'm extremely alpha, yes. And I do remember twice where I had these people who helped me cook, Mm-hmm. I loved it. And it was so fun because it's like, oh yeah, chop that. I don't chop it. You have good knife skills. Go ahead.
I don't have a processor.
I'm not chopping it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't. No, I mean when you just point to a person and go like, could you please
help me
make a roux and I'll make a cheese sauce if you start there. It's so much easier. Or like, I don't feel like making the pâteau choux for the cheese puffs. Could you just make the pâteau choux and then I'll taste it and say no?
Yes.
Yeah, make it again.
What is the best meal you've ever had at a restaurant? And was it worth the experience?
The best meal I ever had in a restaurant was when I was 17 and I went to Paris by myself. And I went to this restaurant and the food in those days in Paris was magnificent on every level. Like you could not get bad food in Paris in those days. And you really can now. You really can, seriously.
Yeah.
Like if you walked off the street into a cafe and got just a croque monsieur, it was the most delicious thing. And now they're pretty not so good. Like
it's a little basic.
It's a little basic and you have to go places for croque monsieurs even, or for scrambled eggs. You have to really fuss. But I remember at the end of that trip, right at the end of the trip, I was so like terrified of everything, And I just wandered off the street into this place called La Pérouse, which is so beautiful. And I sat down and they were remarkably friendly. And I had this most divine meal. It was divine. I had this little vol au vent. It was like a little crab-filled pastry thing that was beyond. And then I had sole meunière or something. It was so perfect, this meal. It was a fish. I really like fishes. I like to cook fishes and I like to eat fishes, but...
Last question.
Okay.
Before we wrap this up. You have 2 dogs.
Yes, I do.
You have Kitty. And then you have...
Dean.
Yes. Harry, obviously, we have to give a shout out to
a legend. A legend. I had a dream about Harry the other night. Because Kitty has a great deal of Harry in her because she's part collie, right?
Yeah.
And she has that incredibly she's, Dean is a terrier and he's like a little pig or something. He like has a sturdy he's stout and sturdy. And Kitty is just so elegant like Harry and she's like furry and just like so you just hug her and you feel the sinewy muscles and the bones. I mean, she's just elegant is all.
And she looks like she has a spunky personality.
She's kind of like Santa's little helper.
Yes.
She has the same exact personality as Santa's little helper from The Simpsons.
Yes.
Like she's kind of elusive and she disappears and then she appears and
like
she has that long nose.
Around
exactly.
The house.
She skulks. Exactly.
I know that well. We have a skulker in our house.
Yes.
Now, do they participate in fun, bougie purchases? Dean and Kitty? Like, do they have anything that we would be like, that's fabulous?
I have to say, Dean has one of the great, great, great things of all times that I made for Target. And it happens to fit him perfectly. And by the way, he loves dressing. Like, he loves it. And he'll sit for a picture. Like, if you go, hey, Dean, and he literally sits for a picture like he's Susie Parker or something.
Yes.
He's a full supermodel. But he has one of the great things, which is this I made for dogs. I was kind of tired of all the Christmas accoutrement that you could get. Yeah. And I thought so he has this little blue, like kind of Jewish blue sweater with a big white Jewish star on it.
Like a Star of David.
intargeted into this sweater. It is the greatest
Everything.
thing. Everything.
And then what about Kitty?
Kitty, you know, I'm a little bit freaked out about Kitty's collar. We're looking for a new collar because that collar she wears now, it opened twice, and that's not good.
It's no way.
Good. I just bought her a collar I haven't gotten it yet. I hope it fits. It's from this girl called Linda and Winks. It's called Linda and Winks. And it's Linda Rodan, this friend of mine, who just started making these collars, and it looks really good. It's like white patent leather with like a white leash. I know, and it's lined in denim.
And Kitty's got black fur, so this will be like a total standout moment.
Totally white with black with a white collar. How chic, right?
Yeah. Do you feel like you have to live up to this color with your pets because you are Isaac, like the king of color, and then you're walking them on a New York City sidewalk, and it's like they got to stand out?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there used to be this guy that lived on 12th Street, and there was like a competition, like it was completely silent. Oh, yes, I did. I actually knitted Harry things. Like I would knit him a sweater just to throw on.
Now, when you were going to cross the street, did you silently look at him and be like,
"Of course,
I made that"?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Okay, seriously, last question though, because I just thought about this.
Yeah, hello. Go
on. So by the way, I have one of your original pet carriers from your Target collection. We still have it.
The best thing in the world.
Yeah, mine is 13 years old.
Wow.
I got it when our little alley cat was like first born. But so you've had collections at Target, you've had collections at QVC, you've had collections at other retailers. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like when you get those partnerships and you have those collections, like do you go in those stores more to support them because you know you're a part of them in a way?
You know, maybe. I never thought of it that way.
Because you've had a lot of cool families, fashion-wise, that you've been a part of.
I love QVC, and I love shopping on QVC, right? And I love being in this building. It like just kind of, you know, all of a sudden you perk up. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
And I used to love going to Target. It was such fun. And I loved going to Bergdorf Goodman, you know?
Yes.
And it's funny, I don't go to Bergdorf's that much anymore, and I don't really go to Target that much anymore. So maybe you've just pointed something out. Maybe I have to work for someone to get to shop there.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of places to shop in the world. And so it's easy to forget by convenience because you're here.
If only QVC made men's clothes. Blingy men's clothes.
You could start.
I know.
All right, we will leave you with this.
All right.
Since we're obsessed with shopping, what's the next thing you're purchasing?
What's the next thing I'm purchasing? I think it's going to be the second suit from David August with this kind of blingy kind of edition.
I look forward to the bling.
Me too.
So that you can shine like the star that you are.
Like a diamond, darling. Shine like a diamond. Exactly.
Thank you for the Rihanna reference. Thank you for joining us on Shop Culture. I love you right back.
I love you. Okay. Bye.